Yes. Well, I can't tell any jokes, so good that you did this job. Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me here today. Security in online banking and card payment has a long gone way since it was introduced for the common consumer. It has been a cat and a mouse game for decades now, and with every new security check or obstacle, the fraudsters have become more creative in circumventing them. This constant competition has created a security standard in the two-factor authentication with a chip and the PIN, for example, in which it is at least very difficult to bypass the security measures. Therefore, we, as a Consumer Protection Association, regard it as predominantly safe, but are worried to observe that this standard is threatened to be abolished by some new payment methods. There are several new security issues with mobile and wireless payment services. For example, that your payment data can be intercepted without you noticing to create the consumer profiles or even access your accounts. This requires that not more than absolutely necessary data gets sent out, and we establish a high standard of encryption. And precisely because we know how sophisticated the fraudsters can act, it would be grossly negligent in our eyes to make a step back and now remove one of those authentication factors in the process just for convenience, when there are several new issues arising at the same time. New technologies allow us other possibilities for authentication without a decline in usability. Modern smartphones, which include chips for near-field communication and fingerprint sensors, for example, make a quick wireless payment possible which only one has to approve by your fingertip, your fingerprint on your phone. There's absolutely no need to step back from two-factor authentication and to change a working system, especially not when emitting your payment data wirelessly and not knowing whoever may intercept it. The search of new technology possibilities sparks a competition in price, service, and innovation, which is great for consumers. But how can we guarantee that the different technology platforms offered by different providers of new payment methods face each other on a level playing field, and that new up and coming concepts do not get nipped in the bud by their already big competitors? We need to prevent the formation of a digital ecosystem by opening the technology and infrastructure to everyone in the market. The creator of the technology should of course be allowed to charge a reasonable fee for providing the access, but they cannot be allowed to lock the competition out and use their eventually market domination position to charge the consumers and retailers whatever they want, while offering only mandatory service. Established monopolies offer an inferior product for a high price and hinder the development of new concepts because the monopolist has no incentives to invest and risk anything while their competitors do not have access to the market. Good and innovative ideas would have no chance to evolve and to improve the product for everyone under those circumstances. That is why we need a flexible and regulatory framework which can easily adapt to and support the development of future innovations. A lot of innovations start at the very bottom and have to fight their way up. Therefore, we need low entry thresholds to enable them to enter the market and to eventually succeed. Digital ecosystems represent one of the biggest thresholds on this way. To give you one example, there are several different NFC technologies and systems for payments with cards and mobile phones. If every one of those would require another expensive reading device at the retailer's registers, for one thing there would be chaos, and for another thing most probably only one payment service provider would prevail, locking out every new competitor and ending all innovation. This shows how important an open access to technology and infrastructure is. Unfortunately, consumers do not feel enough informed about these new means of payment. A lot of them don't even know they exist yet. And I believe that this is in the payment service provider's best interest to change that. According to experiences, at least in Germany, consumers like still to pay in cash and are very reluctant to adapt new means of payment. Credit card use and checks never really caught up, at least in Germany, like it did in other countries. Providers and retailers should feel obliged not to miss this chance and do it right this time. So we need an open dialogue involving consumers, retailers, and providers to define rules we want to play with and to inform consumers about the new possibilities and the associated risks, but also remove misconceptions that may exist. We have to find a equilibrium where everybody's needs are considered, how do retailers and payment services providers split the cost for the needed infrastructure? How do entrepreneurs have to be paid to use the required technology? And how do consumers get involved and get picked up in this matter? Those are some of the vital points we need to resolve, and I think conferences like yours are a great place to do this. Thank you very much.